Live. La 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 live on YouTube.
La 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 live, la 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 live. We are live,
La la la
live.
la 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 live.
Bring your own beer version
Hello, Nick!
of Beer Analysis 101 at short notice, and we apologize for that because we had somebody come down sick. We wanted to hold on what beer is we are going to do this week for next week. So I guess we just spoiled next week's beer. But today we are going to do Pilsners. Yay!
Yeah.
Bring your own beer version of Pilsners, and we might as well introduce who we have with us, starting with Rougebeard, Mr. Redbeard, who's currently in the middle of packing it up.
It's good times. Yeah.
Mhm.
Second boxes everywhere. I got a can of. Oh no, Nick said the name.
Wernsgruner.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's some weird random thing I found in the LCBO, and it's I don't think I had it before. So there you go. Beer history as well. Good times.
I remember having that. That's an East German Pilsner.
Ooh.
East German. Let that sink in for a second.
I always forget if that's the good one or the bad one.
It's the Polish one.
I can never remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the Western Poland part of.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me, Nick. Cheers, everybody.
All right, next person we have up is Mr. Fuzzman. Fuzzy Pills. Yo, Scott, what's going on tonight, and what did you bring?
Nothing. Montreal just scored. I forgot my jersey.
Nice.
Oh. And it's going all right. I got my Duck Beer hat. I got my Duck Beer shirt, and got all that stuff. And
it's ready.
And today I got a Greystone the North Pilsner, all the way from
Frederictonia.
Yeah, Fredericton. It's I don't know. I've never had it before. We'll see what goes on. Something local.
Nice. King of the North.
King of the North.
All right. Speaking of King of the North, here's the guy from North Etobicoke. We got Mr. Greg.
Oh, hello, Nick.
What flavor of steam whistle did you bring tonight?
Well, as we know, in North Etobicoke, the most northern place of all of Ontario, I was able to secure a Wanderlust.
Oh, wow. A Wanderlust
It is from our good friends at Rorschach Brewing, so you can't read any of their writing.
Nice.
Yeah, not albino friendly. And it is now. I hope this is okay, Nick, because I know you're stickler for the rules. But it's a Pacific Pilsner that you probably can't read. So I don't know. I don't know what that means, but it's some sort of Pilsner. I can't fucking read this writing, and I've got 20/20 vision. So
Pacific.
I'm getting a fucking magnifying glass here. So
Whatever works for me, Greg.
yeah, I made Nick.
I'm actually kind of impressed you didn't bring steam whistle tonight.
I was considering it, but I thought no, I can't upset Papa Lowe.
Right. Twice in one night. Anyway, let's go over to who do we have next? We get Mr. Sexton, Mr. Ashley Sexton of Sexton Brewing Co. How are you doing tonight? What did you bring?
Doing great, thank you. Had a good day. Kids are off, and we actually went out geocaching today, so that was fun.
Ooh, nice.
Anyways, despite what everyone probably thinks I'm bringing, I did not bring steam whistle, and nor did I bring Pilsner or Kel. I unfortunately brought golden pheasant.
Golden pheasant? Oh, wow.
Golden pheasant.
With a bottle that looks almost like Pilsner or Kel.
It's a Czech-style Pilsner. I think this is brewed by Heineken. That's all I got.
All right.
Wasting the beer on this one.
Nice. All right. Lastly, certainly not least, or least. Ooh.
Leastly.
Least. All right.
In here.
Lee showed up. It doesn't matter. He's here.
I didn't realize you actually put the link in the fucking chat because there was like 10 messages between it. So
Yep. We talk a lot.
Blame Greg.
Yep.
All right. So, Lee, how you doing tonight? What'd you bring?
I'm doing all right. And I brought from my neck of the woods up in Wolfville, Nova Scotia, I brought the Church Brewing Company's Congregation Pilsner.
Oh, yeah.
Which is it's not a Czech Pilsner in style. It's actually a German Pilsner in style. And once I get into talking about what I think of it, I'll elaborate a little bit more on what the difference is. So
nice. All right. So lastly, first, thanks for asking, but I'm doing okay.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Greg. I brought something from my neck of the woods, which is a little bit of a classic around these parts. This is from Picaroons. Feels good. Imperial Pilsner, whatever Imperial Pilsner is.
oh.
But I
they're finally canning shit.
Yeah, like
Doesn't that just make it a high gravity lager?
pretty much 7% ABV.
Love it.
It's Pilsner though, so it's got that
Damn it,
size.
Nick. It's like bringing a heft to a wheat beer.
Oh. Oh, fuck.
That's funny.
Wow.
Nick doesn't like me tonight.
It's almost been a year now. It's almost been a year, and Nick still hates that moment.
Hashtag never forget.
So, Lady Lee is in the chat saying, curse of having Lee as your name, then you become a constant pun.
You're a pun.
Try having a last name of Low.
No thanks.
That's low.
It'll take you to low places, that's for sure.
I've had to endure all those jokes over and over again, Mr. Lowe.
You've had to make
my first name is
you've had to
Carrie.
make
I
those
feel like
jokes.
I'm
I've endured it. I've endured it.
Oh, let's hear it.
You're the fucking culprit.
Let's sit here and let Carrie talk about for the next 10 minutes how his name is a girl's name and he's had to grow up so oppressed and he's a ginger.
He's bitching about having a girl's
Made
name.
my one comment.
Same chat
That
with
was
a guy
it.
named Ashley.
I mean, I'm going to argue that half the people here have a girl's name, Lee.
I was just saying the pun thing, like as far as like Lee can be like, you know, lean on me, whatever. Like there's Carrie.
Did anyone go like carry on my wayward son?
Kitchen manager at the Moose all the time. Yep.
Did you kill him?
Well,
He was
not
a
that
nice
he'll
guy.
admit
He was
to
just
live.
I would have killed him.
He's not going to admit to it live on air, Lee. Come on.
I'm sure the statute of limitations is over with at that point, right?
God.
They have that for murder, right?
No,
Yeah. It's 5 years. That's why all those Nazis get away with it. And they aren't being prosecuted like 50 years later.
Okay. And Jamie is in the chat saying, hi, Lee.
Hi, Jamie.
And hi, Jamie. No, I don't hate you. All right. So,
Like you
moving
too.
right along, let's go back to our panel view and introduce people let's talk about the beers they brought, starting with Redbeard. Redbeard, I think we already know your history with this beer, but I'm going to let you talk about it anyway.
Yeah, like I said in my intro, I've never had it before, so history kind of done over with. Doesn't smell bad.
He doesn't smell it. Too impressed.
Doesn't smell bad. Just like a Pilsner, regardless of how it's made, the smell is never probably really going to excite me. Like it's kind of a style that I don't have a problem with them. Just I don't seek them out. They're kind of bland.
What beer did you get, Carrie? I missed.
Oh, sorry, man. I got the Nick can say the name better than I can. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Wern.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Gruner.
Yeah, we've had
The
it.
East German one.
We've had it in
Wow.
New Brunswick for about 8 years now.
It's a Pils Legende.
Legende.
It's extra communist.
Extra communist.
Extra East. Yeah, well, it is Eastern German.
Yeah.
Extra communist.
All right, we'll circle back to this. All right, so Fuzzy,
Yo.
I think you already said something about your history with this beer. We're gonna let you talk about it anyway.
I don't have a lot of history with the beer. I've had a few of them. I've had a few Greystones from their brewery. They're okay. They're okay. Pilsners. I don't seek out Pilsners like Redbeard. Like Redbeard said. I like he said as well. The waft of it isn't the best. But sometimes smells can be deceiving. Right, Nick? Yeah.
Yeah.
So no.
Should I say that Nick smells bad, but he's like something like that?
Deceivingly.
Smells deceivingly.
Yeah, he looks clean. You think he washes, but once you get close to him, it's like, nope.
Shut up.
Right.
Nice.
No, I have no. I have no history with the beer itself.
Right on.
Right on, right on.
All right, so let's go over to Greggy, Mr. Greg.
Okay, Greg, Nick, you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
What's your history?
In the making. It's the first time I'm ever having this beer. And there you go. There's my history.
All right, that's your history. All right, so let's move on to the next person, which is Ashry.
Jeez. I love Pilsners. I used to, for a style of beer to have on hand, as a maintenance beer, for me, it's always been a pale ale or a Pilsner. So depending on if I'm feeling lager or ale. So I love Pilsners, and I know Leaf feels the same way as I do about Steam Whistle. I enjoy Steam Whistle quite a bit.
Fuck you.
I also enjoy Pilsner or Cal quite a bit. So, but yeah, I mean, it's
Steam Whistle clone.
When done right, Pilsners they're great. There's a nice bitterness to it. There's enough, malt presence to it. It's not a whisper. Same with the, each component is sharp in its own way when it's done really well, and that's what I like about Pilsners. And I have never had this beer before, this Golden Pheasant, but you can't walk into an LCBO in Ontario and not see this bottle somewhere.
Used to be pretty common in
it's there,
for
man.
quite
Trust
a while
me.
too.
Golden Pheasant's all over the place.
Wow.
But it sticks out just because of the bottle shape, and they have the gold foil. And it took me forever to even peel the foil off the top. I don't think it's meant to come off. So it's like one of those spray-on gold foil materials.
No one expects anyone to actually tear it off. It's just
I know, right? I was waiting for that nice, satisfying moment to take the entire wrap off in one piece, and then it's like peeling off, and it's like, oh, gross.
Yeah.
Even the cap feels dirty. So
it's like unwrapping a mummy or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, other than that, yeah. When I checked out on Untapped, it looks like there's two variations of this. They're both Czech style Pilsners. One had the Heineken name underneath it. They're both 4.7%. This is brewed in Slovakia in the Herbanovo brewery. So yeah.
Yeah, just noticing this when I just looked it up on Wikipedia, but this is the Slovakian name. I can't pronounce that, but maybe Greg can. See, as soon as you mention Greg's name, he pays attention.
Latte Baznant. I probably didn't pronounce it right.
Latte, all right. Sold in the U.S. and Canada as Golden Pheasant.
Oh, there we go.
Latte Bavant.
So, but yeah, I've never had this beer before this very moment, so. Get my Golden Pheasant cherry popped.
Here you go.
Oh, bestiality.
All righty. So, who's next?
Have you ever eaten pheasant? Have you ever eaten pheasant?
Oh, like sexually?
No, eaten. Jeez, you can eat the friggin' bird.
I'm aware. I'm very aware.
Okay. Lee, what's your history with the one you picked?
This sort of popped up in NSLCs right around the time I actually started doing beer reviews again. And since my beer reviews are now purely focused on like maritime beers, it was perfect one to check out and pick up. So yeah, this has been a regular sort of go-to now for the last, I don't know, 2-ish years or so, however long it's fucking been. It feels like it's been like a period of 80 years in the last year or so between when that started and where we are now, kind of thing. So who knows? But yeah, I was so, like, spoilers. I was so impressed with it that it quickly got into my sort of just usual rotation. I'm like, very rarely when I go to the beer store, I'm not picking up like a 6-pack of this to have on hand, kind of thing. So.
Nice. All right. Let's bring it over to me. What's my history? Well, first of all, Picaroons I go way back with, although I don't drink a lot of their beers anymore. This is like when I first started getting into watching beer reviews online. I won't name names, but there's a certain someone maybe on this chat that it was the first person I actually watched on BeerTube. But I noticed he didn't do any reviews of Picaroon stuff, so I was kind of curious about that, and I didn't realize. I don't know why I didn't realize that they didn't get beers from these guys over in Nova Scotia. So I think my very first endeavors with actually doing kind of beer reviews on YouTube was actually with products from Picaroons, and one of my earliest examples is, why is that flickering? All right, so is this from around the time of the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver? I did these Beer Olympics series of early beer reviews where I drank 3 beers in one night, all at the same time to compare them. And I didn't know anything about the individual styles. I had a German Pilsner, I had Molson Old Style, and this Imperial Pilsner from Picaroons, which I think the first time I ever had it was 2009, which is when the very first Feels Good Festival that Picaroons helped host was, and they brewed it in honor of that. But that's how far back I go with this specific beer. It's like all the way past the beginning.
Wow.
Basically from when I first got into craft beer. But yeah.
Can I ask who won that one? Who won that Beer Olympics? I hope Horsteiner won. I hope it did.
They got the gold medal label.
Okay.
Yeah, that was uploaded February 28th, 2010, so that's like over 11 years ago.
That's funny, man.
I almost bought Old Style Pilsner for tonight, but then it's like I have to buy a 12-pack Old Style Pilsner, so I'm probably not going to do that.
You can't buy a single? I could have bought a single of that.
I can't even get it here anymore for some reason. That's actually one that I would have gotten. Like, I would like to buy again. Like, yeah, I don't mind getting a 12-pack of that stuff. I just love it because it's got so many regional fanboys that it's just like a traditional thing now. Where if you even say anything slightly negative or critical of it, they just fucking bum rush you. Like it's just lose their fucking mind.
And it's like it's not even the same beer that you and your daddy used to taste. Like it's just another filtered Molson beer now. Is what it is. But you know.
Yeah,
they haven't changed the label in ever.
No. Well, I can remember back in my original review, I think that I kind of like made fun of the label because I thought it looked like dog shit, and I got a lot of negative feedback on that, like a lot of pushback. Wow, that's like our traditional label and shows symbols of our heritage.
On my culture, man.
Yeah,
I got that tattooed on my dick.
If your culture resides in a fucking microwave in a trailer park that's had too many fucking cheeses melted in the inside of it, then you don't have much of a culture. Maybe the culture between your mother's toes or something like that. The yeast culture, but
it's a good measure of a person. If you ever visit their house and you open the microwave and the microwave's gross, yeah. Clean your fucking microwave.
If someone come to my house and open my microwave, I'd be like, "Fuck you! Get out of my house."
Why are you looking at someone's microwave?
That shit.
In what scenario are you walking?
Stop fucking snooping my microwave. Then
they immediately walk to your bathroom and start scrubbing your toilet. And it's just,
you know what? Fuck the microwave. We've lived in this house with a broken microwave for like 4 years now.
Wow.
My microwave did break probably I want to say around that long ago, and I just got rid of it and never got a new one. I only ever used it for reheating stuff and making popcorn, and I can reheat stuff in the oven just easily. And I don't need to eat popcorn, so
I love popcorn. You just buy a air popper.
I want to get one eventually, but I don't miss having popcorn that much. Like
those air poppers are good.
They're the best, man. You can go to Value Village and pick one up for $5.
Is it Jiffy Pop, the fucking one that's like you go doing the stovetop and like puffs all up, all fucking cool like.
Oh, that thing, yeah, I remember making those. I remember one time one of the
easy to burn.
Yes, I remember one time me and my brother parents were out, babysitter was there making one of these things on the stove. Fucking burned it to hell, and it was like the whole house stank of burnt butter. It was gross.
Oh yeah,
I remember years ago.
Those things are fucking cool when they actually like puff up into this big ball of.
My dad had got some random. It was like a cob of corn, and they had done whatever they do to make popcorn, but with on the cob, and you put it in the microwave, and all the popcorn pops off this cob, and it's all awesome. And it was finished, and my dad was like, "There's still some on there." Put it in for a second go, and yeah. Burnt badly. I lit on fire in the microwave and just made the whole house smell terrible. It was good memories of my dad.
Should we head to the chat?
I once walked into my buddy's house. He was sitting on the couch. I just walked right in, went to his fridge, downed a beer, and walked out. Never said a word to him. Got back in my car and drove away.
Who's that?
Like,
Is anybody I know?
actually, yeah, that's
Jim.
that's hilarious.
He had an apartment on the east side. Like I knew his door was open, so I just walked in, never said a word to him. He was fucking watching TV, and walked into the fridge. I took it was at Alexander Keith's, and I hated the taste of that. I just opened it up. I'm like, go, 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 smashed it on the counter, and just walked out. And he's like, what the hell?
I'm assuming you told him about that after.
What do you mean after?
Like he was there and he saw it. Like,
well, okay.
what was it? What was his react? Like, what did he say to you the next time you saw him? Kind of thing.
What the hell was that?
It's
Like, I was thirsty. What do you want?
kind of funny.
Wow.
I got to a buddy.
Right.
You're thirsty. You generally don't quench your thirst with a beer.
Yeah, but he was in his fridge.
Yeah, fair enough.
I told him, what? Go grab a glass, pour some water, drink the water, walk out. No, because that would be too.
We've generally got pretty good tap water here in this country.
Sure.
Generally.
Not saying it was bad tap water. I'm just saying the beer was available and it was right there.
This is what you're getting grilled on. Is not that you stole a beer. Is why didn't you get something that was
better for you? Greg is teaching you more lessons about consent than he even knows about. It's like,
are you reading the comments from the StreamYard or the live YouTube? By the way,
I was just gonna do from StreamYard. Why?
There's some that aren't popping up in the StreamYard, so I got the live YouTube. If you don't mind me taking over.
Yeah, no, you take it over.
Did they change? Put a filter on us again?
my internet's being a little chunky too, just in case you.
Well, I think what it is like the ones that need moderation to be approved or whatever. Probably, even if they get approved on the YouTube side, they don't pop up on the StreamYard.
They don't pop in the StreamYard side. If anybody has like a swear word or something or some sexual innuendo, it doesn't show up.
I feel like we were getting those in the StreamYard recently, though. Anyway, whatever. Go ahead.
We'll see. Anyway, so Lady Lee says I was a goalie for high school soccer team, so my nickname was Go Lee, the goalie.
Schmackety, schmackety.
You do. Beer for breakfast, facts for snacks says, hey guys, hello. Lee goes on to say puntacular, and then a certain albino rhino showed up saying yo yo
Chad.
Raining on Your Parade jumps in and says the first year Budvar was imported in the States, it said Budvar on the label. After a year, it said Czechvar on the label. I always preferred Czechvar, but due to recent batches, I am now into your Pilsner Urquell. Yeah, I mean, Pilsner Urquell's much more an actual Pilsner than like Budvar is. Budvar's a little kind of water. It almost reminds me more of like a Helles lager or something like that. It's very not super hoppy or anything. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think it technically is supposed to be like a Czech kind of lager, Czech kind of Pilsner, but I don't really necessarily think of it as one.
Yeah, I don't really rate it. Jamie says air popper only microwave popcorn is disgusting.
Wow.
Really? Wow. Why so? It's like an attack, man.
No, well,
Gatorade more.
You're attacking people's lifestyle here, Jamie.
I've had very good style. I've had very good examples of both. I don't know, like.
Jamie's a bigot. We know that.
No, Jamie's not a bigot. He just has solid, hard takes. He lands on something
He just has
and he sticks
strong, bigoted opinions. He's not a bigot.
No, it's not. It's not true.
Hot takes.
Albino Rhino goes on to say Logo Tread. Yeah, fuck Logo Tread. Fuck Chris Peters. I hope he dies of COVID. In Minecraft. Lee Hardy says
I hope he does in real life. Personally.
Lady Lee says my air popper is from the 80s. It's the one I had as a kid. Holy shit.
Wow. I had one like that about the same age. I don't know if I still have it.
Like at that age, would like stuff build up and I guess if you take care of it, I guess.
You
just think like a fire hazard or just the electronics back in those days.
My penis is from the 80s. It still works.
It's a very simple machine. It,
Very,
fair enough.
it
Yeah,
just does one
exactly.
thing.
You take care of it. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Rhino goes on to say we sell Jiffy Pop all the time up here in the Great White North.
And the one.
And I bet it's always on sale for a great deal too, right?
Yeah, only like $50 a bag or whatever. You know.
$10 for burnt.
And Lee agrees with Jamie about the microwave popcorn thing. So Jamie's little beer hall putsch over there where he's rallying the troops.
Jesus.
He's already gotten a recruit here. And then Rhino with a bunch of comments here says 100% Jamie. Sadly, air poppers cost too much up here, and I don't even like microwaves in the house due to my thyroid. My internet is even clunkier, Ashley, and air poppers live forever.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
There are some appliances.
I gotta find it.
They can just last. You know, some things wear it a lot, and some other ones don't. Makes sense, yeah.
Oh, and I missed this. Rating on your parade says Yo Bitch is drinking a Bitburger pills. Best I could do on a 20-minute notice. Cheers.
Butt burger.
Didn't we handle that one at some point?
Yeah, we did butt burger,
Yeah.
didn't we?
I remember Bitburger.
I remember it being an option to do.
I just remember the name being very memorable. Bitburger. It's a
What's
very
that?
odd name for a beer. Bitburger. Just a bit of a burger.
I'm pretty sure we did Bitburger. Yeah, there was only 3 people that showed up: me, Fuzz, and Greg.
Yeah, I think that was one of those ones where I thought, oh, yeah, I can get Bitburger. And it was like, no, we don't carry it anymore.
That might have been me too. Yeah. I guess I haven't had it then.
Yeah, I do a search, a Google search for beer analysis on Bitburger, and of course mine's at the top, but then right below it is Real Ale and Ronald Terrio. Fuck.
Nick, you're
Anyway.
Yeah. Sadly, if you remove the beer analysis from that search part, you probably wouldn't be number one anymore.
Yeah, I know. Well, what if I just took out analysis? Like, what happens when I do that? I'm curious now. If I take analysis out, who's number one? Real Ale Craft Beer. And then Ronald Terrio. And then there's Greg's beer reviews. Wow.
Some of the big, some of those big
man.
superstars that we're just not good enough to hang out
You don't
with.
even rate. Holy shit! I haven't seen. Was it James Knott? What was his name? Better Beer Authority. I haven't seen.
Oh, yeah. Better Beer Authority. Better beer.
Really? Is that was the thing?
No need for that.
That was their theme song. Better Beer Authority.
That was their theme song like 8-9 years ago.
Better Beer Authority. Better beer. That was when he was. But he's like. He was like into TV production or something like that. Like I think that's what he does now, like full time, like professional. So, like their whole show was like a panel show. It was actually probably the most professional show in original.
For back in the day, it was a really well produced show, even if they're.
Greg, are you drinking something different now?
Yes, I am. You guys took too long, so I finished my Pilsner, and I'm on a second. Right. I'm drinking a second Pilsner, also by Rorschach. It's called Normalpathy.
Wow, that's a hazy Pilsner.
All right.
Well, was your first one hazy?
No, it was quite clear. This one is not. This one is hazy. You're right.
Yeah.
Probably double dry hopped.
All right, so let's go back to our panel view and Redbeard. What's your thoughts on your beer?
It's a Pilsner. I don't mind it. Like it again. Like this, it's not a style I seek out. I have no problem with it. Like if I want to grab a beer, something like this in my fridge, I'll grab it and drink it. But I generally grab probably an IPA or a pale ale or a stout or something before this style. But for the style, I feel like it's pretty well done. It's kind of light, easy drinking, biscuity kind of bready thing going on. Bit.
It's got a big dirty finish.
Dry. I'm not really, no. Just, I wouldn't call this dirty at all. Not super clean, but not dirty.
Yeah. Well, I might have to try that again because like the time I had it 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago.
I'm not sure.
I think I drain poured it.
What the difference is, like they was talking about the difference of this is a German Pilsner, apparently, product of Germany. Yep. So I did bring that up on my phone at somewhere.
Well, I'll just say it now. Like, so the original style where this originated in Czech, now the Czech Republic, I guess it is. Maybe is it still the Czech Republic? I don't know.
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia, whatever nebulous half real state Eastern Bloc European thing it is now. But in the basically the town of Pilsen or whatever, where they took the the bottom fermenting lager style and they put their own spin on it basically, and your traditional Czech Pilsner is definitely a little bit lighter, a little bit sweeter. Still, it's generally got an herbal kind of background to it as far as the hops goes, but it's not necessarily as earthy as you'll find with a German style Pilsner, because when the Germans adopted the style, and especially when they were strictly kind of doing actual Pilsner, it was much more to do with the sulfates in the water. So you're going to get a bit more of a earthy, more bitter finish than you'll get from a Czech Pilsner. That's sort of the major difference.
Yeah, cool. I forgot this one. Style wise, I haven't really paid attention, I guess, to the style of Pilsner that I'm drinking. It's a Pilsner. I'll drink it, and I rate it as a Pilsner. So, Pilsner style, I'm going to give this a solid 8.5, and overall enjoyment, a solid 7.5. I don't mind. It's pretty good.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Redbeard.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me, Nick. I love you. I'm glad you're doing well today.
Love you a long time. All right, let's go over to Scott.
Yo.
So, how'd your beer turn out?
So this is a German Pilsner from Greystone. It says so on the can. A crisp German Pilsner with a clean finish. On the website, it says clean, smooth Pilsner with a bitter finish. So is it bitter or is it clean? Who knows? Could be both. So I'm not like Redbeard. I don't look for Pilsners, but I'll drink one if it's in my fridge. I don't mind them. There is a little bit of waft to them. I'm not a big fan of. And unlike Redbeard, my go-tos are lagers, stouts. I'll go stouts, non-coffee stouts, and oatmeal stuff. I kind of tend towards as well. So anyway, when Nick said, "Hey, it's Pilsner night," I went out and got a couple Pilsners just to see how it goes. So this German Pilsner is from Fredericton. Quite good. It does have a crisp, clean finish. The longer it sits, though, the dirtier the end is. So if you like it, drink it faster. Anyway, good head on it. It is clean, very clean. Goes down smooth, easy drinking kind of thing. For the style, I've had other Pilsners. I'm going to give this a 7.5 for the style. Very drinkable, very accessible beer. If I go up to Greystone again in Fredericton, I could pick up a few of those. I wouldn't mind them at all. 5.5 ABV, 15 IBUs. And for personal, I'm going to give it an 8.5. I am enjoying it very much. I'm sad that I didn't pick up a second one, actually. It wasn't overly pricey. It was okay, in the $4 or $5 range, in my local liqueur store. Yeah, I'm okay with most of this. It was a good choice. Nick so said I was a good choice.
Yep, generally because I kind of like Greystone.
Yep. No, it was good.
All right, cool. Thank you, Scott. All right, who's next? We got Gorg.
Oh, hello, Nick. So I got one little tiny sip left in this, and I'll. There's the review. So it's very yeasty, very citrusy, more so than I think I'd expect from a Pilsner. still a little bit grassy. It's clean. It's a little. I don't want to say it's a little too flavorful for a Pilsner. Like it's almost one of those IPLs or something like that. I get that taste from. It's good. I don't mind it. Like, I mean, I feel for a Pilsner at least. I mean, obviously the steam whistle is 10 out of 10. So
fuck yourself.
Well, I mean, if I could, I would, but I'm not gifted in that kind of size. But anyway, so judging by that, I mean, I would say like for the style, it's not really what I'd consider a Pilsner, although I'm by no means an expert. I'd probably say it's like a looks for style. It's not really what I'd consider a style, or what I like. If you gave it to me blind, I probably wouldn't guess it was a Pilsner. I mean, this one hits the marks for me closer to what I'd like from a Pilsner, although it does have some similar taste to it. And definitely both of them have a bit of a dirty finish.
You saying citrus was like a red flag for me. It's like I don't know that kind of.
Well, I also say it could be how I interpret. Maybe I interpret citrus different than most, but that one to me definitely had more of a citrus than this one does. Like this one to me is closer to what I feel a Pilsner should be. So yeah, I would say 6 for style, but it's I enjoyed it. I'm going to say a 7.5 for personal enjoyment. It was perfectly fine. Went down smooth enough. I just question whether or not it's how far into the Pilsner style. Now, if I could read the can and kind of figure out what they're going for, no, still can't read it. Maybe I'd have an idea. It's a Pacific Pilsner, so maybe there's a reason why it tastes like that.
Well, that sounds like that makes sense, right? If they're like doing a spin on it where it's like, oh, we're using like West Coast IPA hops in our Pilsner, then I'd be like, okay, I expect citrus here, but I don't expect a traditional Pilsner at all.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I won't. Okay, I can get it with my camera. It's about the land down under, brewed entirely with Pilsner malt and hopped with some of our favorite varieties from Australia and New Zealand: Galaxy, Motueka, and Eclipse. This crisp, refreshing Pilsner has notes of fresh baked bread and light spice, with underlies of zesty lime, citrus, juicy peach, and mandarin orange. I didn't taste that.
Jesus Christ.
Lime.
Soon you'll once again be able to embrace our inner wanderers. But for now, let us travel through our tastes and within our minds. Wow, that's very deep.
That's delicious to me. Like I do enjoy a more citrusy drink. Maybe
I think that sounds pretty tasty, actually. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, what it sounds like is neither one of you guys actually want a Pilsner. That's what it sounds like.
Well, is this not just reminiscent? I mean, the regionalization of a Pilsner, or like the fact that it's becoming spliced up, isn't that exactly what happened to IPAs?
I guess, and I mean, here I am talking about the difference between a German Pilsner and a Czech Pilsner, so I mean, I can't complain that much, but still.
The other day, I just had an Italian Pilsner. Italian.
Those Italians.
Peroni or something?
Wow. So I had an Italian Pilsner, a West Coast Pilsner, Pacific. I saw another brewery on Instagram. They're marketing theirs as a New Zealand Pilsner. So I mean, everyone's got their own shit.
I want to see a New England Pilsner.
And really, it's all
New England Pilsner.
What are they dry hopping it with? That's all that it is. I mean, it's all it is. So
yeah, like, one of the things I love about the world of beer is that it's infinite. You can take these styles and
it can be
fuck
different.
around with them and add stuff to them and just change things around.
Well,
and
as long as you're not taking.
Well, I think it's like Trailway makes like some kind of variation Pilsner or something called Yada Yada. And I think it's like some kind of hazy, weird Pilsner. I don't know. People just make what the fuck they want and just call it a Pilsner.
I've had the Yada Yada, and I wasn't a big fan of it.
Yada Yada.
Yep, I've had it. It was Yada Yada. It was.
I remember not hating it, but it's anyway. All right, so now we got Greg's opinion. Did you give your rating, Greg?
Where are your rates?
Yeah, he did.
You did. Cool.
Yeah, 6 to the 7.5. Not that it matters, but
all right.
it matters, man. It all matters.
well, not for Nick's calculations. It doesn't.
Well, I'm not doing any calculations on this stuff, so
Exactly.
all right. Next up, we got Mr. Catfish. Commander Catbox. I mean, Catfish.
Wow.
Sorry in the comments.
Maybe I should just like change it to like Catbox Commander Catfish.
No, rename yourself the Clit Commander.
The Clit Commander.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, you'd be a good commander.
Wow. So this beer sucks, and it is what it is. So I knew when I was buying it what I was getting, and I felt really sad about it because I'm really trying to limit the amount of beer I drink. So, but I did it. I did it for the team, for the people who are watching, and I get it. On the bottle itself, it actually just calls itself a lager, but on Untapped and the website, it calls itself a Czech Pilsner. So, it's I think they just brewed the beer and then just called it what they thought it tasted closest to. So it's like, it tastes like sweet, corny type of adjunct lager. Although they don't specify that it's. Oh, thank you. I love the new nickname. So they don't specify, that whether or not there's any corn syrup in it. They list water, malts, and hops as the ingredients. But I don't know. It comes across like way too sweet. It comes across as an adjunct lager. Although it's a Czech, it is supposed to have a little bit of sweetness, as Lee pointed out earlier. It's not right. It's not good. It's not a true Pilsner. Wow. Even a Czech Pilsner is going to have like a little bit of a sharpness, a little bit of boldness to it. That defining line between them. Here's the malt. Here are the hops. Here's the minerality. Here's the finish. Boom. There's none of that in this. It's a lumpy, frumpy, like lager. It's just, it actually drinks bigger than what it is. It's a 4.6, and I swear to God, if I blind it, I would say that this was like on the like an almost like an ice. It was like a 5.5 or like 5.8. Wow. It tastes it tastes like that. It has that horrible sweetness to it.
Wow. That
you would associate with that. So yeah, I'll just give it a 2 and a 2. It is what it is.
Wow, Sexton.
Raise yourself with a sword.
Ouch. Wow. Yikes, man. That doesn't sound good at all.
Sorry.
All right. So let's move on to Lee. Lee, anyway. What's you think of your church Pilsner?
Yeah, so it sits at 4.7%, by the way. I didn't mention that one in the introduction. But so the guys the people, whoever, I don't know who comprises their brewing team. I shouldn't say the guys at the church. It could be the persons at the church.
They might not even be actual people.
They might not be. Who knows? They might be robots. But they take their shit really seriously. When they try to nail down styles, they really do try to nail them down. Like everything I've had from them has been really, really good so far. So I do have their actual malt bill here and hop bill for this. So they do use Pilsen malt and Carafoam. Their hops are Magnum, Hallertau, Mittelfrüh, and Sapphire, and German lager yeast. And so and it sits at 35 IBU for whatever that's worth. But thing about it is a Pilsner. I think Ashley kind of explained this better than I could have. You get the separation between the different components of the beer, like in both the aroma and the drink. It's noticeable. It's not like just a lager you knock down and it's kind of sweet and grainy and that's it, and whatever. Like the stuff that came from Pilsner and became like North American lagers and shit like that is a really dumbed down version of that kind of thing. It's a very complicated version of that, and it's not at the beginning of it, the style itself is not all that complicated anyway. It's just very simple and very nice. This is got a good clean grain aroma and taste, and it does transition to the hops very well. It is a little bit more bitter than your Czech style Pilsner. You're going to get much more of a earthy finish to it, which is something I really appreciate. Like people who do know my beer review channel and know my sort of taste in beers generally would know that I really do like British beers with those really dirty like copper coin penny hops and stuff like that, and I really like herbal hops as well. And this has a bit of that in spades, a little fraction of that in spades, I guess, which sounds like a weird contradiction, but shut up. I love this beer. I love this beer a lot. It's my favorite Pilsner from this region. And I am a big fan of Pilsner as a style, especially when it's done well. When a craft brewery says, we're making a Pilsner and we're putting it on the shelf, I'm fucking buying it because I want to try it out. Because it's a style I've really grown to love in the last 10 years or so, where it's just like, you give me a fucking great Pilsner over your fucking triple IPAs or whatever other bullshit you're making any fucking day, and I will gravitate towards that. And I'm really happy that Church exists and they make this shit because, like I said, it's a constant thing that's in my purchases at the NSLC. So style and personal preference. I think at this point it's probably even higher than what I gave in my original review, and I did not go back and check, but it's 9.5s across the board for both. So
holy smokes!
So what kind of Pilsner was it? Was it a German?
Yeah, it's a German style Pilsner. Yeah.
It's located where, and where's the brewery located in?
It's in Wolfville, Nova Scotia. So it's right on the coast of the Numinus Basin.
I've been to Wolfville. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Very good.
Yeah. Wow. That actually sounds really good. All right. I guess I have to follow up Lee on that one here. So I know how Greg feels when he has to follow Ashley, sort of.
Terrible.
Lee is just the shorter version of Ashley.
Right. Cat box version.
Good
okay, so moving right along with this one here. It's been about almost 12 years since the first time I've ever had this beer, since they first released it. In all my travels, I haven't really found a whole lot of examples of the style of Imperial Pilsner. I don't know if it's even still, is it really even a style individual on its own, or is it just some mashup beer that they made and called it Imperial when it's just all they wanted to do is take the Pilsner, ethos and make an Imperial beer out of it. They kind of like when you drink this thing, it kind of does drive that point home. I just looked on their site. It's 60 IBUs, so it's pretty intensely bitter when it comes to something like this. The hops that they used on it were the kind of the like the herbal European kind. Like, it does taste very bitter, very peppery, like grassy kind of hops that you would associate with noble hops. But there's a lot of Britty underlying maltiness there that comes out, and it's very kind of strong. It's not like cloyingly sweet or anything. It's not even near super sweet, but it does feel like there's a big body there, in the sense that it does feel like it's got this Imperial body, which kind of takes away from the whole spirit. If I were to compare this, is this an Imperial version of a German or a Czech? This is more like Imperial version of a Czech to me. But at the same time, I find it's bready and slightly appley. It's got that little hint of that flavor of the grain smell you get out of a brewery when they're brewing, almost like an unfinished grain kind of ferment or something on it. But I'm just digressing. I don't really drink a lot of Picaroon's beers as much as I used to anymore. There's just so much more interesting stuff in New Brunswick to go to. I don't necessarily forget where my origins are, but at the same time, I do feel like they kind of stick to their old hat style sometimes. But I guess at the same time, is this thing bad? No, it's not. It's not terrible. What's an Imperial Pilsner? Well, this pretty much tastes close to it, but I just feel does it really need to be a style that deserves to be on its own? I don't know. I'm basically making shit up at this point, and because this feels like this beer feels like they made shit up.
I do. Give your scores first before I ask a question.
All right, yeah, I was just gonna say, I think for the style of the Call it Imperial Pilsner, yeah, they kind of did that. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 of the style. Overall enjoyment, give it a 7. It's all right. I'm already on my second can, so
I'm actually kind of intrigued to see Picaroons in cans. How does their stuff hold up in cans compared to their bottled shit?
this is only like a recent change. My can was canned in December, actually, so it's about 4 months old, and you know it kind of tastes as I would expect.
There's a shortage on bottles. Cans are the thing now because of the shortage on bottles.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
I believe that
Picaroons is a brewery that desperately needed to move to cans, like because their bottled stuff goes bad so fucking quickly.
Like it just has with the maple cream.
Mm-hmm.
Maple cream is now in cans.
My can ingredients wise, water, malted barley, hops. No mention of yeast whatsoever. Is that even possible?
No,
they just forgot to list it, or didn't think it was important. I guess
the original. Let's
It's
just
in
put
like 15 languages.
The original Reinheitsgebot only called for 2. It was 3 ingredients: water, malt, and barley, like malted barley. Well, water, malted barley, and hops. Sorry, yeast. They didn't even know about yeast. That yeast was the active ingredient that
Because
was
like it can naturally ferment and stuff and naturally carbonate.
Yeah, but it's still if it's naturally fermenting, it's still caused by yeast.
Yeah.
But they didn't understand that back in 1516.
I gotcha. So like the
original
fermentation
Reinheitsgebot-
process, whatever.
I mean,
makes
that's the
yeast and
mentality
stuff.
they have is that they don't include yeast as one of the ingredients because it is the biggest, most active ingredient of a beer, arguably. But
all right, do you want me to go to comments because we got quite a few here, so we should
Sure.
probably try to clean this up. Okay, Rhino says I was trying to do a Rorschach order for my 5 weeks in Ontario, but the website was way too much for my internet. Oh, so they got a big site, do they? I guess
It's not really. It's a very poorly designed site.
Chad just has really bad internet.
Yeah, that too. But it is a really badly designed site.
Then we got massive Matt in the fucking chat saying, "What the fuck is a Pilsner?" And Albino Rhino goes on to say, "It's how you nurr your pills." I don't know what he's going on with
Pilsner. You want to nurr
That's
your pills?
pretty fucking witty, buddy.
Lady Lisa's Czech Republic. Yes, indeed. Okay, so it's still the Czech Republic.
Yeah. So what was it?
Yeah.
Czechoslovakia, and then became the Czechoslovakia. Then is that what it was?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay,
like
fair enough.
Matt goes on to say #facts. Maybe in relation to what Lee was saying, or maybe what I was saying when it came to the beer styles. I don't know. It was
the beer styles, I think.
Okay, it was right around that time. Matt says Czech Republics, like Chet from Weird Science. Did I say Chet or did I say Czech? I don't know. We'll have to rewind the tape on that one, I guess. And then Rhino goes on to talk a little inside baseball here, saying Lee calls Chet cat box, which is going to like only mean something to like 3 people.
Chet Mustang.
Yeah. And Nick goes Czech Republic. Okay, if there was a republic fucking ran by that guy, they'd be in trouble. Rhino goes on to say, "You don't say a Rorschach beer that is yeasty and citrusy." Get the fuck out of here. I guess apparently is the kind of thing there.
Yeah, they have that tendency.
Rhino asks, "Does it have bleach in it?" No, we're not doing wheat beers. Chad.
Well, no, that's another evening.
Rhino then goes on to say, and before anyone here on the panel answers, I'll also read Matt's sort of follow-up answer to this. Any thoughts on Italian Pilsner? I have not had one I enjoy. And then Matt said, "I'm game for some Italian Pilsners, basically just an extra dry hop German Pils. Tipo is the classic, but Firestone Walker's Pivo Pils is effing excellent and readily available and is decently priced." So anyone else has anyone else here on the panel had any experience with Italian Pilsners? That's
Nope.
kind of
Okay, I didn't realize. I think I've had Pivo, but I didn't realize it was Italian style.
Yeah. Rhino says, I did quite enjoy Pivo when I had it years ago. Bought it that first or second time I met Coconut Joe.
Oh, Coconut Joe.
Stalker.
Needs a uniform.
Yeah, he's dead, unfortunately.
Oh.
And then we have 2 questions. They're the same question, actually, but worded differently. Lady Lee says, what's next week's beer? And Jamie says, Wertz, Nerkst, Works, Burr.
That's exactly how Jamie talks.
So what is next week's beer?
Next week's beer, let's see how many times we can get away with saying that Wales All Day is going to be next week's beer. Hopefully, everything goes right, and the people who are supposed to be here, and you're in the audience listening right now, I know that, is going to be here for this.
We're sorry about your flaming diarrhea, and we hope your butthole feels better.
Good Lord.
We're very hopeful. It's hopefully.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you know it.
That's not as bad as anything Nick does, so that's fine. Yeah, so that's next week's beer. And then Rhino goes on to say, what's the beer for the week after next? That would be my first day back in Ontario as we hit Montreal on the 27th and try to fly past Toronto as if it didn't exist on the 28th.
Good luck.
Hey, Chad, why don't you come visit me, you bastard? We can go to...
You're going to go into isolation for however long. I think the plan right now, tentatively, is Collective Arts IPA 16, which might still be available in Ontario.
Sexton goes on to say, in relation to the Italian Pilsner, I haven't found one I love. I've only had a few. Breakwall did one, but it just wasn't crisp enough. The dry hopping was nice, though. And Rhino says, Conrad did tell me that Breakwall is experimenting much more lately. And Raining on Your Parade asks the what's next week's beer question. Lady Lee says it's changed back in the 90s. With I guess that's the Czech Republic thing. And then we have Dan, Western Canadian reviewer, saying, "Oh, you're still live.
For shame."
Yeah. We're trying to get it over with. So then Sexton says their brown IPA from last fall was awesome, and their Imperial Hopkins Tomb is awesome in relation to Breakwall. And then we have a fucking Ghost from the Past. Beer Zerkeradian saying he's drinking
Holy fuck, man.
Cheers, dude. He's saying he's drinking an Osberkistanian IPA. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly or not.
Okay.
Uzbekistani?
Uzbekistan?
Oh, I put an R in there when it shouldn't have been.
Durkistanian IPA?
Durkistanian IPA? Okay.
That's good.
Holy
fuck,
canceled now. I was going to say this. Zerker80, it's good to fucking see you again. Holy fuck.
Yeah, he's not dead.
Wow. I know. Whoa, he's alive? Fuck. I mean, that's a name I didn't think I'd see again.
You just wrote him off.
Terrible. I can't visit anyone for 2 weeks, Greg. That's no excuse here, Chad. Greg's got a strong immune system. He's been riding his bike.
Just go hang out in front of his building and yell at him from the
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Just make a pass. It's like, make sure that when you make your 2 week trip to Welland that you stop at all the breweries along the way, and then do your quarantine.
Hey,
that's a joke. That's a joke.
Wait, listen, it's the 8th best community in Canada next. So
there's a barbecue place that'll serve you when you're still in quarantine, right by Greg's house.
What's the best community?
Unfortunately, Nick.
What's the best community in Canada?
It was Halifax.
Yeah, Halifax. Toronto's 11. Which I don't believe.
If you listen to Guy, that's where I live, Halifax. So
how does Toronto beat out St. John?
Yeah, I have no idea.
We're the center of the universe. That's how.
St. John 12.
Yeah, well, we beat Welland at least.
My home is far down on the list.
I mean, the fact that Welland plays so high, though, is like that should be a concern to everybody.
I mean, I know Ashley Sexton ups Welland's
upskirt.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
So
I
much.
Yeah, I think he makes that big of a difference.
I raise it up.
The Welland flag should be like a dead rat farting on a baby or something. Like it's just
My internet's dying.
if towns had flags,
my
you know.
God.
Not a live rat farting on a dead
towns-
baby.
towns
No,
do
a
need
dead rat
flags.
farting on a live baby. I like it.
We should all have flags for our towns. Anyways, we digress, and I have to go put my kids to bed.
All right, you go whip your kids.
Good
We're
work.
gonna
See you guys
take
later.
this shit offline. So, want to thank everybody for watching. Nice to see you again, Berserker Radiant, and I'll see you, Albino Rhino. It's nice to see you in the chat. Yeah. So, thanks to everybody for watching. Lady Lee, Bea Jamie, Lovey Jamie, the Radiant Bridge, Dan.
What? Raining on your parade.
And of course, can't forget Andrew Watts. Cheers, dude. All right, so thanks for watching. We'll chat with you probably. We'll see you next week.
Penis. Chris Peters killed those women.
Oh,
Yeah,